and welcome to the Power of Youth+. I'm your host, Yang Xinmeng. Today, I'm at the beautiful University of International Business and Economics. You know, as a female, I'm always keen on topics related to she power and gender equality. To begin with, just one simple question. How many male CEOs can you name? And what about females? You get what I mean? My colleague Jackson went around campus and asked this question. Take a look.
Hey there, this is your friend Jackson. So, who is the first female entrepreneur that you can think of? And what is your understanding of she power? Hey guys, now I'm at the University of International Business and Economics. Let's go and figure it out. Men or women in business, anyone comes to your mind first if they're CEO?
The Zuckerberg.
Lei Jun, Dilma Rousseff,
Elon Musk.
On the other hand, Sanders.
I love Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Me too. Maybe from in the past that like male are more like dominant in like business thing. I think the women also have the capability to be the CEO or to be the leader. We can do also that.
my grandma wants me to be like him in the future, and I'm working on that. But she wants me to be Lei Jun, which is crazier.
We live in a patriarchal society. We should change that, and we should give women more chance to be CEO. It's change the mentality, but it's not easy to change mentality. You need 50 years, 100 years to change people's mind.
Usually when we talk about CEO, male CEO always come to our mind first. What about female CEO? Do you think like female is like not capable of doing anything? That's why?
No.
Okay. Girl, come on.
I would never think that. I think everyone can do it. I think everyone is capable of doing everything.
Hey Abby, this is all the answers that I have collected, and now it's your turn.
Thank you very much, Jackson. Now, before we go into today's topic, let's take a look at the beautiful campus of UIPE. Welcome back, and hello girls. Let's say hi to our audience first.
Hello.
Hi. Now we've already have all the names we've collected. Do you want to take a guess how many female CEOs we have and how many male CEOs?
Okay, I think there are 2 female CEOs and maybe 10 male CEOs.
Yeah, the comparison is quite
Yeah, it's
obvious
visible.
here.
You can
Yeah, how
See,
about
it's
you?
kind of small.
Right.
I was also going to say the same amount of numbers, maybe like 3
2.
females and maybe 10 males.
3
Yeah.
and 10. Okay, let's reveal the names. Do you want to do males first or females first?
We go with males.
Males. Okay.
A lot of
Okay, let's see. Ooh. 7. Okay, less than 10 though. First one, Tim Cook. Everyone knows him. CEO of Apple and Elon Musk.
Yeah, Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla. Lei Jun, do you know him?
No.
I don't think so.
He's the CEO of Xiaomi, a Chinese CEO. And then Jack Ma, do you know? Yeah, Alibaba. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Colonel Harlan Sanders.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Extremely familiar.
I'm sure you're familiar. KFC.
Oh my god.
Colonel Sanders. Yeah, and Lee Jae-yong, a Korean CEO. Samsung. Yeah, exactly. And females, are we ready? 2 or 3? 2. Okay. First one, Dong Mingzhu. You know her?
Quite disappointing, but I don't know any of them.
Yeah, me either.
Dong Mingzhu, a Chinese female CEO, very famous, from Geli.
Right.
And Dilma Rousseff, the former president of Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah. So, we have 7 males here, 2 females here, and none of you guessed it. Yeah. All right. So why do you think there are fewer female CEOs in important industries?
Is traditional roles. So back in time, there were traditional roles for men and women. Men were protectors and providers, whereas women were nurturers and caretakers. And I think now things have changed a lot, but this still remains in our subconscious, and maybe this is the reason why there are fewer female CEOs, because people tend to think that women are born to stay home and not to work. But actually, even back in time, in past, these traditional roles were not for oppression, were not for one gender ruling over the other. It was because of the original purpose was for survival and for flourishing, because they recognized each other's strength and they respected it, and each of them played to their strength.
That's also similar here in China. In traditional Chinese society, women are more like are supposed to, we call it 相夫教子, supposed to stay at home and take care of their husband and children. Is that similar in your country?
Well, my country is quite diverse, so some parts are actually patriarchal, some parts are matriarchal. But I think the biggest problem right now in my country is having access to education. For example, where I'm from, we have a patriarchal system, but we do continue this tradition of bride prices. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but it's usually when the man's family pays the wife's family when they want to get married. And usually in our modern society, even though we follow that tradition, we implement like a modern, I guess, standard to it, which is that if the female has education, she's more valuable.
So why do you think, what do you think caused the problems here? Why there are fewer females than males in certain industry? Since I guess in your country, men and women get the equal opportunity for employment, but
it's just the lack of opportunity for employment. Yeah, the job market's not great.
Okay.
I think one reason it could be that people just don't necessarily gravitate towards what females do or what women do. I guess that could also be ignorance, because even though I'm a female, I think I should be advocating for female exposure who are CEOs, right? But I don't. At the same time, it could also be that, I think as she mentioned, just women aren't given a lot of opportunities, socioeconomic opportunities, and then we come to the bigger concern, which is gender equality, right? I would assume that if our country has a greater gender equality, then female have more opportunities to work, but as she mentioned, we're still sticking to that somewhat traditional role, though women have the choice to work.
All right. And Burkina, you mentioned the traditional concept, social concept. So how do you think that affects women's career development, and has that changed right now?
Yes, I think it has changed, because it is not like it was before. But I think that it's not about turning the world into pink, to make the world women dominated or male dominated. And it's not about who is better, but it's about being better together. It's about playing together. It's about capitalizing on talent and make use of talents. And talent is genderless. It doesn't matter whether you are woman or man. You can be talented and skillful and competent.
Thank you. Have you personally encountered any or noticed any unfair treatment, both at work or in daily life, as girls?
I think in my generation, I guess I'm part of the Gen Z generation, I would say no. It's more having to do with skills, because I think my generation's, I guess, more open and more accepting of female-led roles. So I personally wouldn't say, but that doesn't mean I don't deny it, that it does happen in many instances, yeah.
So you said you don't deny, meaning that you've seen some examples online?
Yeah, I've heard.
Can you name some examples, maybe?
For example, I would say in my country, there are some parts where, for example, if a woman's working in the office, he would probably make some remarks saying, like, I think you could do better at home. Just slight remarks, even though it can come off as joking, but I think the way they say it insinuates something that doesn't necessarily have to be said to a woman. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, as long as it just makes you uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
The intention was to make someone uncomfortable.
Right, right. How about you?
Actually, pretty much the same. I haven't experienced any discrimination, gender discrimination, neither me nor any of my close friends or family members. But I can say that sometimes maybe I discriminate or maybe I treat men and women different in different cases. For example, I prefer to consult a doctor woman rather than a doctor man. This is because I feel more comfortable with a doctor woman. So this is not discriminating, I think, because I'm like a patient or a client or a patient can choose, can pick and can prefer someone over someone else. But if you are an employer, for example, you have no right to prefer a man over a woman or a woman over a man. So maybe in different situations, in different cases, we can prefer a man over a woman or a woman over a man. Not because they are more skillful or competent, but it's because you feel more comfortable with that gender. It's because of feelings, not because of something logical more.
All right, you know, the 2024 APEC Summit is being held in Peru right now. And this year the topic is empowerment and inclusiveness. And they are also actively promoting women's rights in economic field. So what kind of signal do you think they're sending to you and all women?
I think this is a very powerful and inspiring message because it makes us realize that opportunities are more accessible for women and women can be free to pursue their goals equally and safely. So yeah, this is a very good news because it also makes us be ambitious to reach our full potential.
I think the signal APEC is trying to convey, seeing that APEC is mostly geared towards a lot of developing nations, and the reality is that many of the women in those developing nations just don't get the opportunities to actually prove what their talent or what their passion is, as she mentioned. And it's also recognizing the fact that, or APEC is trying to recognize or make everyone recognize the fact that women can contribute. It's just that we're not at that level where we can see that level of contribution, that recognition is being made. So yeah.
So as young person, how do you think we can help in such a topic, like in the context of APEC, such an initiative, and promote social changes in the global landscape?
I think what women can do and young women like us can do is to focus on knowledge and skill development. So we have to build a strong knowledge base in order to be able to be valuable contributors in society, and also we should build skills. And networking is also a good way to be exposed. We should reach out to accomplished men and women who can guide us, who can mentor us. And also we should advocate for women's rights and interests. For example, we can promote different initiatives and policies that foster women's rights in maybe social media or different platforms, forums, wherever we can find opportunities.
Do you get any inspiration from the social media?
Yes, I get, because I see famous female or famous women that do very good in their lives. So yes, I get inspired.
Mia?
I think because we're kind of in the same generation, social media is definitely like the strongest medium to connect female viewers. I also think that when it comes to encouraging females to contribute to, I guess, a global initiative, especially for women, we shouldn't be that exclusive to just being women, because at the end of the day, our partner that we live in society with is a man. So I think there should definitely be some more like a bridge that connects men to understanding women better, and women understanding women better, and men. And also, I think you also asked like what kind of women inspire me. I think during the APEC there was a lot of recognition for single women who were not single, but like individual women who were entrepreneurs, and I think that's the type of recognition or I guess an aspiration I'd like to continue looking up towards, and hopefully other women or girls growing up can see that you can accomplish something and you don't have to label yourself just by being a woman to accomplish something. It's just really having to do with your skill and how much willingness you're putting in to accomplish something. Yeah.
You mentioned entrepreneurs in APEC Summit. So what do you think is the significance of such initiatives in increasing women's economic participation?
I think women simply lack the confidence, or it's simply a lack of awareness if they're able to do something, especially because maybe they're scared of getting into something that's male dominated, or even if they have the awareness and knowledge of doing something, they just feel intimidated half the time. I think women also have larger obligations. I'm not trying to say that men don't, but I'm just saying that, for example, a single mother, many women in my country are single mothers, but many of them actually turn out to be successful entrepreneurs. They own their own businesses, especially in the informal sectors of my country, like tourism. And I think that's where maybe other women in other countries can learn from each other, understanding that, or like to understand that you know, you can be a mother, you can work, and you can still succeed in both. So yeah.
All right, so are you guys familiar with any China's contribution to promote women's rights and interests?
Yeah, actually I don't know much about China, but I can say that there are several laws in China that protect women's rights and interests. Starting from the constitution, that is the main law in every country. There is an article that protects women's rights, and also there are several laws, like for example employment law, labor law, and also there is a specific law on human rights and interests. So that is pretty good, I think.
You heard any?
Yeah, actually, I think I did a study on women empowerment in China, and I understand that women's laws or women's rights laws is very recent to China's development. I think they only initiated them in like the early 90s. The most recent one that I read upon was from I think 2018 and 2023, where they didn't put new, but they expanded, made it more clear, more concise, because they started to realize that women were having different issues that really required specific, I guess, remedies. And I think the one that I really focused on was maternity leave. You cannot, I think for women who work in a company, I think the most discrimination they would get faced from men is the fact that, oh, well, you can take a 9-month leave and get paid and not work because you're having a baby. And I think the hugest misunderstanding, or something that I would really defend against, is the fact that, well, men can't give birth, and it's only natural for women to go on their maternity leave. And I'm actually quite happy that I think one of the articles that China extended was if the hospital, for example, if the hospital said, oh, she needs extra months to recover, maybe she had a C-section, the company has to oblige to. I guess the company is required to still pay her, even though she's past 9 months, or she's past the amount that the company already gives. And I think that's really great, because I think women in companies face, apart from sexual harassment, I think it's maternity leave. Some companies just don't do any maternity leave payment, or it's very low, and by the time she comes back, she has to overwork. So I think for a Chinese woman, it's really great, because also the government's trying to push Chinese generations to have more kids. So I think that goes hand in hand with the new generation now.
Yeah, where did you learn so much about?
Well, in my classes, I'm an international politics major, and we cover a lot of things concerning China. For example, we have classes that talks about Chinese history, socialism in China, and that includes their new developments in catering towards females and males. Yeah,
Wow, that's
Chinese
awesome.
society.
So exactly, China has formulated and implemented a set of rules and regulations, including the constitutional law you mentioned, and also other several laws and regulations to protect women's rights and interests, especially on employment. Basically just equal pay for equal work for both men and women, just ways to reduce the gender discrimination in employment. So I really hope that in the future there will be more female CEOs' names here on the board. And thank you so much, girls, for joining us. And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.